All right, this is Chapter 2, Lesson 9, Financial Literacy Simple Interest. So in this first little box over here, it says blank is the amount of money deposited or borrowed. Blank, blank is the amount paid or earned for the use of money. So in that first box, you're going to write principal. So principal is the amount of money deposited or borrowed. And in the second two blanks, you're going to write simple interest. And simple interest is the amount paid or earned for the use of money. Okay. If you borrow money from a bank, you pay the bank interest for the use of their money. You also pay interest to a credit card company if you have an unpaid balance. You can use the formula I equals PRT to find the amount of interest owed. So simple interest, I, is the product of the principal, P, the annual interest rate, R, and annual means year, and the time, T, also expressed in years. So in symbols, it's I equals PRT. So let's look at one example. So the example I have is Arnold puts $580 into a savings account. The account pays 3% simple interest. How much interest will he earn in each amount of time? So the first amount of time we want to look at is 5 years. So I have my formula, I equals PRT, where I is my interest, that's what I'm looking for, equals $580, which is the principal, times the rate of 0.03. I remember I changed 3% from a percent to a decimal, times 5. 5 is fine because it's in years. So as long as it's in years, we can use the digit that they gave us. When I multiply all this out, 580 times 0.03 times 5, I get 87. So Arnold will earn $87 in interest in 5 years. They also want us to look at 6 months. So again, we use the formula I equals PRT. My principal is 580. My rate is 0.03. And my time, T, is 0.5. Now 6 months, we can remember 6 months over 12, right? 6 months over 12 months, there's 12 months in a year. This simplifies to 1/2, which is the same thing as 0.5 as a decimal. So that's where I get the 0.5 from. So I'm going to take 580 times 0.03 times 0.5, and that gives me 8.7. So Arnold will earn $8.70 in interest in 6 months. All right, let's take a look at the other example they give us. This example says Derek's dad bought new tires for $9,000 using a credit card. His card has an interest rate of 19%. If he has no other charges on his card and does not make a payment, how much money will he owe after 1 month? So again, I use I equals PRT, principal times rate times time. So I equals 9,000 times 0.19 times 1/12. Remember, we have that 1/12 because it's 1 month. I want to know how much I'll pay after 1 month. So when I multiply all that out, I will get $142.5. So the interest owed after 1 month would be $142.50. Okay? So the total amount owed would be the $9,000 plus the $142.50. So that would be $9,142.50. Okay. So there's my interest, the interest owed, and total amount would be $9,142.50. Okay. All right, there are 2 try it problems, so go ahead, try them out on your own. Pause the video. Once you're done, come back and we will go over the answers together. All right, so now that you've tried the try it problems on your own, let's go over the answers together. The first one says Jenny puts $1,560 into a savings account. The account pays 2.5% simple interest. How much interest will she earn in 3 years? So the important numbers that I have, right, are the rate, the principal, and the time. So the principal that they give us, the amount that she's putting in, is the $1,560. The rate is the 2.5%, and then the time is 3 years. So I have I equals PRT. So I equals my principal, 1,560, times my rate, which is 0.025. Remember, I changed my percent to a decimal, times my time in years, so times 3. When I multiply all of that out, 1,560 times 0.025 times 3, I get 117. So my interest is 117. That's how much interest she'll earn in 3 years. All right, my second try it problem says Mrs. Hanover borrows $1,400 at a rate of 5.5% per year. How much simple interest will she pay if it takes 8 months to repay the loan? So again, I'm given my principal, my rate, and my time. Now this is a time in months, so you have to remember that. So I go back to my formula, I equals PRT. My principal is $1,400. My rate is 0.055, and my time is 8/12, 8 over 12, right? And I can simplify 8 over 12 by dividing both of them by 4, and I get 2/3, which is 0.6 repeating. So I take that and I multiply that times my rate and then times my principal. So I get I equals 51.33. So my interest is $51.33. So that's the interest. That's how much simple interest she'll pay if it takes 8 months to repay the loan. Okay? So the other thing that I wanted to show you was the foldable that you put into your ISN on page 47. And it looks like this, okay? Now this foldable shows the formula for interest. So I is my interest, P is my principal or the amount borrowed, R is my rate, my percent, and T is my time in years, okay? So if you ever need to remember, you can always go back and relook at it. And it's just a quick reminder to kind of show you what the equation is, all right? And that is the end of lesson 9. And on page 48, you should have glued in your math menu. Make sure you're checking off your assignments, okay? And that is the end of chapter 2.